price tag they simply can't afford, as Lee Cowan now explains.
Anger got the better of me. Anger got the better of me.
It was meant to be a noise complaint, but 75-year-old Bill Pizer took it to another level. Back in April of 2017, he got so frustrated with his loud neighbors that instead of just knocking on their door, surveillance cameras captured him pointing a handgun at him and kicking it. That's bad enough. But then the gun went off, accidentally, he says.
I never should have done anything like that. That's a crazy, it's a dangerous, irresponsible, uncalled for thing to do. But that's what I did, and I got myself arrested.
No one was hurt, but this retired San Francisco cab driver knew he was in pretty deep trouble. Negligently discharging a firearm was his first thought. But much to his surprise, he found himself charged with attempted murder instead.
The bail was $625,000.
Was that something that you could afford to pay?
Not even close.
So he went to jail. Pre-trial detention, it's called.
So how long did you think you were going to be in there?
I thought I was going to be there a few days until these people came to their senses and straightened things out and charged me with what I actually did.
And what happened instead?
What actually happened was I spent 6 months in jail for crimes I never committed.
Bill Pizer, who had never been in trouble with the law before, was locked up for one reason. He didn't have enough money to buy his freedom. And he isn't alone. It's estimated at least 60% of the people in jail today, 60%, haven't been convicted of anything.
The estimates that I've seen are more than 450,000 people today are in jail just because they can't pay a bail.
Almost 500,000 people.
Exactly. It's unfair, inefficient, and a complete cost to taxpayers for no public safety benefit. There's no rationale behind the money bail system.
Phil Telfian is executive director of a nonprofit called Equal Justice Under Law, dedicated to scrapping the cash bail system entirely, all across the country.
We're not arguing that everyone has to be released or everyone should stay in jail. All we're arguing is that wealth status should not be the main criteria for who stays in jail and who's released. That is the opposite of what the framers of the Constitution had in mind when they wrote the Bill of Rights.
In the Constitution, it's the 14th Amendment that guarantees equal protection under the law. But it's the 8th Amendment, where bail is mentioned specifically, saying it shall not be excessive. Last year, a 22-year-old Detroit man was charged with 2 misdemeanors after he fired a paintball gun at an unmarked police car. Although he had a clean record, the judge set bail at $30,000.
Yes, sir.
The purpose of bail was to allow people to pay it and then incentivize them to come back to court.
And what has it become now?
It has become punishment.
Robin Steinberg, a retired public defender in the Bronx, has watched the impact of cash bail unravel her clients' lives for years.
People being held in on cash bail will plead guilty 90% of the time so they can go home.
And right then, at that moment, they're obviously not thinking of what that means on their record years down the road. They just want to get out of jail.
Oh, sure. And I stand there helpless as a public defender going, but you're not guilty. And the client will say to me, I don't care. I need to go home. I need to get back to my children. I need to get back to my family. I need to get back to my job.
Private bail bonds companies get people out of jail all the time. It's a $2 billion a year industry in this country.
We understand that people just don't have that kind of money sitting around, but bail provides that.
Gloria Mitchell is a second-generation bail bondswoman in Pomona, California.
Of course, we can't do it for free because we're putting our name to guarantee.
Her fee is generally about 10% of the bail amount. That's money the accused offenders don't get back, even if they're found innocent. That's what happened to Alex Cunningham after he says he was wrongly accused of attacking a man on a street near his home.
I never assaulted him, never abused him, never put my hand on him.
Nevertheless, he was arrested, and his bail set at $150,000. Not only did he have 2 dogs to take care of, he was the only caregiver for his ailing grandmother. So he turned to a bail bondsman to cover the 10% of his bond. It cost him $15,000.
I still owe $8,500.
And how are you paying it back?
Installments.
You'll be paying that for
many years.
all because of an accusation.
Of a false accusation, yes.
In fact, a judge threw out his case shortly after his bond was posted. Had he paid the bail himself, he would have gotten all of it back.
We met with the sheriff.
It's stories like that, and worse, that gave Robin Steinberg an idea. Why not step in and pay bail for those who needed it the most, and do it at no cost to them?
The Bail Project is designed to answer that immediate emergency crisis of human beings sitting in jail cells who haven't been convicted of crimes, who are there only because they don't have enough money to pay their bail.
Using philanthropic dollars, she amassed a pot of money that she can use to bail out one client after another without losing a cent.
When you pay bail, if somebody makes their court appearances, the bail comes back at the end of the case.
And then goes out to somebody else.
So the same dollar revolves over and over again.
So far, that revolving fund has bought the freedom of more than 5,000 people since last year.
To bail in the amount of $15,015.
And guess what?
96% of the time, people come back for each and every court appearance.
96%.
And understand that those court appearances will sometimes go on not just for months, but for years.
This is a perfect stranger that has come to help you. That's a hero.
One of the people she bailed out was Ramal Edwards, who was arrested for riding his bike on a sidewalk.
I didn't have the money to, to get out and fight my charge from the outside.
All he needed was $150, 10% of his bail amount. But without it, he sat in jail for 5 days. That time behind bars cost him his job.
So I'm being punished before I was sentenced.
He tried finding other work, but no one would hire him while his case was winding its way through the legal system.
I got 2 job offers rescinded because of the charges.
After 2 years of fighting, the charges against Ramal were dropped. He was later hired by the Bail Project to go back to that very same New York City jail where he had given up hope to give hope to someone else.
I'm a hero in training.
Rasha Amalaki is also working with the Bail Project. We found her outside Detroit's Wayne County Jail, where she had just made bail for Karina Jones's partner, Brian, who had been locked up for more than a month. He lost his job because he couldn't make the bail, and Karina had to quit hers to take care of their 4 kids.
So happy we were able to get you out.
Finally, some help from somebody. Like, I wasn't getting help from anybody.
I'll give you guys a call like sometime later this week and see if there's anything else that you guys need from here on out.
For those who worry there's a public safety risk to releasing those who are accused but not convicted, Phil Telfian says they need look no further than the nation's capital. Washington, D.C. largely did away with its cash bail system back in 1992, and statistics show it has not caused an increase in crime.
When folks are arrested in Washington, D.C., they're not given a price tag. They're simply told to come back to court. Now, in some cases, a judge will decide that someone is too dangerous or too much of a flight risk to come back to court. In Washington, D.C., that's less than 10% of the time.
There are growing efforts to change the system all across the country. Nearly a dozen states have some kind of bail reform legislation pending. New York just moved one step closer to eliminating cash bail following California that did it last year. It's controversial, to be sure, and it's being fought tooth and nail by the bail bonds industry. For Gloria Mitchell, it would be the end of a family business.
You're talking about 3,000 bail agents just losing their jobs. But nobody wants to hear that part of it. They just think that we're here for the money.
Any kind of reform, though, is too late for Bill Heiser, who, like so many others, was punished before he ever saw a day in court. When that day finally came, he was acquitted on all charges.
Your connection to your life as you knew it is broken.
And does it stay broken?
Yes, I will never be the same.
Now, I let you see that to tell you this story. I went to jail in Illinois and Maryland about the prison industry and mass incarceration, about the bail industry and how you use the bail industry to re-enslave Black America and Hispanics and poor whites. It's called Letters to Zion. Also, I got a jailhouse diary in Illinois and Maryland. Shows the process. I was denied bail. I was locked up and charged with no bail at all. Then I got a $10,000 bail, but I lost my apartment. I lost my housing. I lost my property. I lost. Man, y'all went through my house and I had cash in my house and y'all took money. You took jewelry. You took clothes. You took computers. You raped me while I was in jail. I spent 186 days in Illinois and 85 days in Maryland. And this is what it was about. It's about your prison industry. I gave this to Paul J. in 2014 when the Real News opened up. Governor O'Malley and Mr. McGee in Parole and Probation. It was a movie and a documentary. You not only take our property, you give us voter suppression because we can't vote on these laws that you write. Like I said, right here, 1402 Lochner. That's Michael Alport. He committed the bomb threat in Grays Lake, Illinois. And it says it right here. This is an agreement between Michael Alport and Dwayne Davis. We are working together to expose the racially oppressive judicial system in Lake County, Illinois. And we are going to write a book and split the profits, 35, 35, 30. We got a jailhouse diary. And like I said, it's documented. That's Doug Zeitz. That's his lawyer. Doug Zeitz is Judge Rossetti's husband. So they got a racketeering and fraud going on. We're talking about bail bondsmen here in Maryland. And we're talking about WJZ and the relationship they have and invested in Governor Hogan's campaign. We're talking about ALEC, the prison corporation, and how they work hand in hand with the bail industry. You feel me? This is Shorty, Never Say Die. I'm a nonprofit. And you locked up a nonprofit and you locked up a whistleblower. I blew the whistle on the bail industry in the courts and the corruption and racketeering in the courts. WJZ know about it. That's the Shorty program. You feel me? That's the Shorty program. And it goes with social, economic, and political. The political is the bail bondsman's industry. The political is the bail bondsman's industry. That's that industry. All right? I was giving careers, not just jobs. I was giving you careers and ways to make money, to make a living. It's the art of getting money. In your prison industry, while you're locked up, this is what you do. Products and services catalog from the Maryland Department of Corrections. You make money while you locked up and you are slave laborers. Like I said, documentaries about this case and this case. It's about Lake County, Illinois. I was kidnapped December the 24th, 2011. You feel me? December the 4th, 2011, I was kidnapped. Mary Cunningham knew about this because I gave a statement on June 10th, 2008 in the Lake County Board meeting. I gave a statement before I left the state of Illinois. I took back my guilty plea. I didn't have a bond. I had an interstate compact. You locked up a whistleblower and a community activist. You locked up an individual that was exposing the same thing that you're talking about on TV today. I gave you this story 10 years ago. You can go to Kyle Gilbert. He got this. WJZ got this. And on this story, we're going to go here with it. The Department of Justice has been asked to investigate this. Not just the bail bondsman industry, but the courts at large. Baltimore City and Baltimore County courts and Lake County, Illinois. That's Judge Bennett, 2018, over a year ago. Dear Judge Bennett. All right? August 2007, Shorty program. I gave you links. And I also told you who to contact. Governor Hogan, Bobby Zirkin, and Valario. We got to go city, county, state, and federal levels to have your prison industry investigated. To have your bail bondsmen investigated. To show the money that ALEC has, to show the money that the insurance companies have in our prison industry. You feel me? Caminets. I'm a community activist. And all I did is be active in my community. You feel me? Shorty Davis, community activist. Yes, I am. I'm famous for toilets because when you're in jail, you got to share that toilet. A toilet don't care if you black, white, straight, or gay. A toilet take your shit every day. And it's inmates that got to share that toilet. That's Maryland Administrative Insurance Administration. Like I said, I was insured when I went out and set out to make this movie. And I have an insurance claim. All right? I was insured. Governor Hogan. Like I said, you got to testify. That's my lawyer, Mr. Bailey. You can call that lawyer in Illinois, Karen Levy and Michael Bailey. And that's the case. All right? No bail was paid. I was held without a bail. I had to plead guilty and come back on an interstate combat and plead to a probationary case. I lost $2.6 million. I lost $2.6 million related to this case. You feel me? In the bail bondsman's industry. And WJZ knew about it. Marty Bass knew about it. Ron Matz. Vic Carter. You know what I'm saying? Richard Sher. Adam May. Because we was talking about your prison industry. And the money you make off the prison industry. The art of getting money. You can go directly to Donnie Moses' criminal division because I talked to him. He told me what to do on certain things. All right? And he has evidence as well. That's President Obama. May 2008. Asked for an investigation. I am responsible for issues as this. All right? Illinois Department of Corrections. Like I said, I was kidnapped by the state of Maryland and Illinois because I was exposing the money behind your prison industry. Your bail bondsmen. You feel me? And like I said, that's Governor O'Malley, 2006. We talking about Keith Davis and public accommodations. Ain't no law against making a movie. It is a law about what you did to me. Like I said, that's Governor O'Malley, 2006. The Get Shorty program. And you got more Shorty than you can stand. Governor O'Malley. That's my Storm Falls Road. These are emails to show you that I was doing this. That's the Maryland Black Caucus, Monday, March 9th, 2009, 9:22 a.m. Michael Bush, House Speaker, Maryland Black Caucus. Bridges. Tony Bridges sees me in public now and he will not open his mouth because he played a role in this. Neither does Teller Branch. Ed Norris. Senator Cardens. You feel me? Josh Davison from Hearst. Bobby Zirkin. Chicago FBI, ACLU. I got my shit documented, and I want what belongs to me. You feel me? Respectfully submitted. Like I said, this is about the prisoners and inmates. That's October 2009. My Maryland house, mailing address, Chicago office. All right, Baltimore Sun, ABC, NBC, 98 Rock, Freedom of Information Act. Like I said, parole and probation, inmate property inventory report. Enclosed, you will find a copy of the following motion to withdraw the guilty plea. I withdrew my guilty plea. That means that y'all owe me a trial. I'm supposed to have a trial. I want a full trial, a jury trial, the same way I did in Maryland. I won in Illinois. You go directly to Diana Suggs. She has this. It's about racism in your judicial system in Maryland. All right? Commode motion. Commode motion. Baltimore man held in toilet paper. That toilet represents how you treat black people. You treat us like shit. You feel me? It's better to be pissed off than pissed on. And I'm the king of talking shit, and I'm the king of backing it up. That toilet is about how you treat black people. It's your cash cow in Maryland. It's the art of getting money. Maryland Controller, Sidnor. All right? A Chevy Suburban. Y'all owe me for the Chevy Suburban. That's $6,000. Y'all owe me for my rent. That's another $7,200. You feel me? Y'all owe me money, and I'm not going to stop till I get what's owed to me. Like I said, I'm selling this as a documentary. That's my film crew, Rob Fix Entertainment. We're going to sell that to somebody. Because like I said, I go to jail for the right reasons. Exposing the corruption and racism, that's a good reason. Because like I said, they go to NAACP, date August 3rd, 2007. Federal prisons. In your bail bonds industry. That's the office of the governor, the state of Illinois, Governor Blagojevich, October 2007. Because before I went home on vacation, I was setting y'all up. It's called entrapment. I was telling you what I was going to do to you. Before I got locked up, I went to y'all. I asked you for the information. Judiciary Inquiry Board. We was fighting the war on drugs in your bail bondsman's industry. That's my exhibit. I submitted it. That's evidence. Long before I got locked up in December of 2007. See the date on this? October 2007. I told you I was coming to file a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit. And I was coming for your money. That's the only thing that white people respect. You feel me? The court of Judge Cox, administrative code. Juror ID number. Dwayne G. Davis, whistleblowers, filmmaker. I don't want no misunderstandings about nothing I do. Because this is what I came to town for. That's from 2007. All right, January 2007. That was the 86 case. Because when I got locked up in 1986, you took $15,000 cash. You took property from me. You also took my client list. My client list was the who's who in Waukegan, Illinois. My client list was about exposing the war on drugs. I went to jail because I turned in guns and drugs to the police, exposing the war on drugs. That's the case. You feel me? Y'all locked me up because I was naming the names of Bruce Miller, Judge Rossetti's husband, Doug Zeitz. I was naming y'all's money and how y'all make money off of the prison industry. The art of getting money. In your courts. Through your bail and bail industry. Michael Alport. Like I said, it's all documented. Signed and dated. You held Anthony Nixon in jail for 3 years for a crime he didn't commit until he pleaded out. I pleaded out. Michael Alport paid out. His daddy paid his bond. And he got locked up 2 or 3 more times. That's Special Agent Jason from the FBI. Because like I said, when I was there, that's Exhibit 3. I turned myself into the FBI. Because I already had a case filed. You feel me? That's Moxley from the city of Waukegan. Moxley, Sabanjan. Moxley, Sabanjan, and Cunningham got this. They all got this. Sam Cunningham has this. Same thing that Moxley got. But Sam ain't going to give up that power because he making money off of selling black people into slavery. He ain't going to reform the prison industry, and he ain't going to tell this story. He ain't going to tell that story. Mary Cunningham from the Lake County Board ain't going to tell that story. Angelo Kyle, the delegate, ain't going to tell that story. Because y'all get paid to keep lock black people up. Racism don't work without black cooperation. I came to your office and gave you evidence, and you still ain't did nothing. You feel me? But you claiming to be a voice for the black community. No, you're a face for white supremacy. It is what it is. You've been getting fat off us getting locked up. That's the mayor of Waukegan. You got the same letter. That's Senator Cardin's telling me to go to Senator Blagojevich in 2007. Because like I said, this was already done. That's Althea Wells from the Attorney Disciplinary Committee. Because I turned y'all into the Disciplinary Committee. The last letter dated 3/07. All right. That's the media, because the media wants to hide behind the shielding law, and it doesn't work like that. Y'all had evidence and knowledge of corruption and racism in the courts. You had full knowledge of everything I was doing. I made a movie about the media called Portraits of a Letter. You're going to have to answer that subpoena. State versus Davis. That's the Maryland Black Caucus. That's Mayor Kathleen Pugh, Senator Pugh. You feel me? Like all of y'all knew about this. All right, emails, don't lie. Adam May from Hearst, because he did the interview with me in Spring Grove. We're going to talk about opioids and the use and abuses of opioids in Spring Grove. We're going to talk about the abuses of the treatment of inmates in Spring Grove. We're going to talk about a lot of things in Spring Grove. That's Governor Ehrlich. This lawyer sent it back. That's the Judiciary Inquiry Board. All right, because like I said, the court was on court. And because I wrote the president, and because I was dealing with the president, the Secret Service came in and pulled an investigation on me. They came and investigated me. I took their card to make sure that we don't have no misunderstandings. The White House. You feel me? They came and did an investigation on me because they wanted to know if I was a threat or not. They want to know if I was a threat or not. But I showed them the information that Obama sent me. You feel me? I sent them this information. Motion for a public hearing. I asked for a public hearing. Y'all had me locked up. I was still locked up. You feel me? Maryland Black Caucus. Ed Norris. You feel me? Original message. John Cardins. Bobby Zirkin. We're going to talk about race and racism in the Democratic Party. I'm going to talk about the Cardins legacy. Maryland Black Caucus. Ed Norris. Bobby Zirkin. Teller Branch. Mike Shue. Richard Sher. Yeah, we're going to share this with the public. Because like I said, Spring Grove Medical Facility. Y'all had me locked up in there. And I got a story to tell you about them. The opioid abuses. The treatment of inmates. You feel me? I signed a movie release. Parole and probation. About your prison industry. About your prison industry. About your bail bondsmen. Yeah. It's all documented. That's the state of Maryland. 2013. Office of the Attorney General. It says Civil Rights Division in the criminal section of the Department of Justice. All right. A federal audit. I've been asking for a federal audit since 2014. So I'm getting ready to send this to Gayle King as a whistleblower's application for the TV program Whistleblowers. And I'm going to blow on the whistle on the courts and the war on drugs. The money that y'all make illegally off of incarcerating black people and Hispanic people. That fear and that intimidation you've been using for the last 50 years. You want to end the violence in the streets? Let's end the war on the drugs. We're going to have that conversation in 2019. Because I'm going to pull your card. Maryland's prison industry. The art of getting money. You make $550 million a year off of products that the inmates produce here in the state of Maryland. And the inmates don't get none of that money. Bobby Zirkin gets money. Governor Hogan gets money. Scott Schellenberger gets money. Baltimore City Council gets money. Davis versus the state of Maryland. I am Dred Scott. Do blacks have rights in which white America respects? We're going to find out. Netflix, Showtime documentary, HBO. Whoever buys it, it's for sale. Just like the prison industry. A $2.5 billion prison industry. Ain't no law against making a movie. Letters Design. It's for sale.